Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogion Monster here, and welcome to Why the Fascination. I am here along with Stevie B. Sorry, I was doing two things at once.
Hello.
Welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as we like to call it. Hope everybody had an amazing Christmas yesterday. It's good to see everybody here in chat.
Indeed.
Let me make sure our
mic is on.
Check a little late.
We've done that a couple times.
Do that double check.
I can't tell because it's on his side, facing his way. We share the mic, so I can't see.
Yeah, and it's just below the buttons, just below the back of the top of the laptop. So I have to see if it's flashing or not. Bobby Younce, how are you? Good to see you. Lulu Bell, welcome. Karen, how are you? Oh, Sharon Guy, great to see you.
Now you can see it.
Chiro, how are you, Jane? Hey, Val, Midwest. What's up, girl? Mr. Lee.
Guys, excuse me for a second. I sat down in such a rush, I didn't even grab my phone. Oh, my screen just
I saw that.
went black.
Went black?
Yeah, on my side.
Oh, I can see you fine.
That was weird.
And that light.
No, I mean
that light behind just freaking out too.
Oh, it is.
Again.
It looks like
it almost looks like a candle, but that's a light bulb that's behind her in a lamp.
In a lamp. That
it's an older lamp. It's probably wiring. I don't know, but that bulb will flash. You guys watched it. Yeah.
I didn't do it. I was saying, excuse me a minute. I have to go grab my phone. I sat down for the show and it's in the room. So I'll be back. Go grab it.
Lester Taylor, how's it going? Danny Staten. What's happening? Who else? So yeah, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Ours was quiet. We just chilled out. I cooked. She turned off her camera, but that light right now is freaking out. I mean, it's going on and off. It's not even just flickering. It's going on and off.
I wonder if it's because I'm walking.
I don't know. That's bizarre. So you can't even see the reflection or anything from that light, but I can't click over. I'm not going to turn on our camera. Oh, Judy Wheeler, how are you?
You can turn my camera on if you want.
Yeah, I made basically it was a roast beef for dinner. I was trying to get prime rib, but they were sold out. They sold out days before I asked for it. I do things last minute. Christmas Eve, I went Christmas shopping.
We both did.
Yeah, she said we both did. But no, they had a whole round eye, of it's a roast, a round eye roast. And it was big. I cut it into threes, and each is about 2 pounds each. I cooked one up last night, and holy shit.
Holy shit.
She's find your phone? No?
I just found it. Right when you said it, I just found it.
Yeah, it was really good. I did
it was fucking
gravy
wonderful
with it. See, now that light's behaving.
Because I'm back.
It was going on and off. Completely, not just flickering. It was freaking out.
So, night before last, I was sitting here and pretty much in the middle of the night wrapping a present, and it went off. And I didn't notice it went off. I didn't see it go off. I just looked up and I'm like, it's dark out there, And then I kind of kept doing what I was doing, and probably about 10, 15 minutes later, I watched it pop back on. I was like, oh.
So this happened. Here, I'll show you. Stevie got me a Christmas gift. And what's funny is you guys should know the whole me in a chair. For years, I did it on a stool.
ever since he started doing the show, he hasn't had a decent chair. I mean, at no point has he ever really had a decent chair. So I had said earlier, a few months ago, I was going to get him one for his birthday, and I didn't. And that was just a few weeks ago. But yeah,
Okay, but she picked the chair up. She was bringing it into the house on Christmas Eve.
I had to wait for him to go to sleep because the box is so freaking big and heavy, and I didn't want him to see it. So he went to bed, and I kind of piddled around on the couch for a little bit, and then about an hour or two later, I get up. It's like 2 a.m. I go out to my truck. On the other side of the trailer is the carport that I parked my truck in, and I'm trying to figure out a good way to carry this thing, watch my footing. It's dark. There's no good light once you get around the front of the house. So I made sure I had this box that, how much you think it would weigh? What, about 20 pounds, maybe, the chair? So
no, it's probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that. But anyways, it's heavy as shit, and
40 pounds.
I'm walking on stilts in the middle of the night in the dark, so I'm real careful, step by step.
Awkward box.
I'm struggling, and I cut the corner of, like, come around the front of his truck, heading towards the house. I stepped just a little bit past the patio from the carport, and I looked up and was fucking floored because there was a man standing there. It startled me. It caught me off guard so much that the box just slid out of my hands and hit the ground. But no sooner did it hit the ground, I'm looking at this person like, who, what the hell? If I don't even know how to explain. It's like it glitched in front of me, gone. Like on the third one, gone. And I'm like, okay, then. Merry Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck was that? So after he opened the box, the present, unwrapped the box, I showed him on the edge of it where it's dented from where it landed on top of my feet.
Well, when she saw what she saw, she was so, I got to go ask the neighbor if he heard her yell. Because
I said, oh, and if I had a second more, if it was still there, I probably would have said, oh shit. But all I could get out was, oh.
Is it the ghost of Christmas past?
But what was weird is that it's not like it was something out of the corner of my eye. I can describe. He had khaki pants on, a dark black, either a dark blue or black t-shirt style shirt, and hands down, arms and hands down to the side, and almost I saw him as he was taking a step, right foot first, and bringing the back leg up to equal, and stopped as he, almost as if he saw me, but then it was gone. I'm like, and I told him it was weird because when I was pulling the box out of the back of my truck, I have a hatchback. So I'm pulling the box out and I'm trying to figure out how to grip it. I kept thinking I was seeing somebody coming up the street, so when I cut the corner and I see this person standing there, I all that together just kind of fucked me up. But yeah, he was gone, just gone.
Yeah, that's,
but I yelled
that and
pretty loud.
What the fuck?
I'm surprised he didn't hear me.
Like the light behind her is acting perfectly normal now. As soon as she walked away and her camera was off, I thought it would have flashed off of here, like you would have seen it. It was going on and off, flickering, and then it was just going on, off, on, off. I just should have just turned my camera on.
I said, yeah.
Pop Craig, what happened?
I don't know.
Did everybody leave? Papa Craig has dominated every here. It's just all Papa Craig.
I see that.
I know the old man can type that quick.
Right.
Catherine, how are you?
That's funny. Yeah, from the first night we moved in here, the cabinet slamming. I've had shit happen everywhere I moved, everywhere I've ever lived.
This is one of those places. Well, no, Lisa's I saw shit too.
Well, that night
Corner of my eye stuff, and
I was
it's
home
just
alone.
Like, I don't pay much attention to that.
That night I was home alone after I worked the museum. When it sounded like somebody was in the kitchen and threw a bowl in the sink, and I would know damn well not even the dog was there.
Huh.
Yeah, every place I've ever lived.
Did I miss anybody?
Northwood
Sure.
Scripted said, I'm here for now. I think.
Northwoods, what's up?
I haven't even brought up chat yet. Too busy babbling.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Now I got to go back and start over. Ben T, what's up? Gonzato, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Gonzato. Indeed. You'll forgive me. I'm trying to find
Hey,
the
Jen.
show and chat and everything.
Jen says, Stevie, you might be a medium. You have too much that happens.
All my life, Jen. I mean, all my life. Me, my sister, my mother. I've always said, you know, my oldest sister doesn't talk about stuff. I'd almost guarantee you she's had experiences as well, but she doesn't like to talk about it. She's the only one out of all of us in the family that, I mean, half the time we were experiencing shit together, you know. I don't know. I'm definitely sensitive for sure.
Yeah. You know my experiences. They're just,
Yeah.
I don't see shit.
And I do.
I hear it. I witness stuff, but I don't see.
And
I've never seen apparition.
I've never seen anything that I was fearful of. Everything that I see and experience, it just catches me off guard. It's like, what the fuck, you know?
But you know what's happening at
Yes.
the time, and you accept it. That's why that happens to me, but I recognize it for what it is, and have to laugh about it half the time
Jay.
for scaring the shit out of me.
Sorry. He said she's not medium. She's well done. Merry Christmas, Jay Fritz.
Yeah, Mr. Fritz. Hope you had a good one. You cooked, didn't you, buddy?
Tina G said, dang, Stevie B, what happened? I'm late. You missed it all.
Yeah, we just simple. I cooked so simple last night.
And it was so good. I did a
fried
green bean
potatoes,
casserole.
And we did a green bean casserole. And
We
that was
fried
it.
the potatoes and definitely
I got some King's Hawaiian.
rolls.
Yeah, the sweet rolls, and it was perfect. It was just there weren't even leftovers really.
No, well,
I mean, there's meat left over
there's
because
green-
later
and
on I used
I made a little bit more green bean
the King's
casserole.
Hawaiian and sliced that beef real thin and made some sliders with a little mayo.
I was so full I couldn't eat them as much as I wanted to because that was just so good. I couldn't eat it.
That was good.
But no, I made a little bit more green bean casserole than I probably should have, but I did it on purpose because I want to. I mean, there's 2 more pieces of that, you know, slab of meat.
I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but I salted it and seasoned it.
It came out
for like 24
perfect.
hours before I cooked it, you know, and I put it back in a Ziploc and squeezed all the air out and just threw it back in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And, that salt penetrated nice. And it, you know, I was concerned about times because it was only a 2 pound, whatever, not even a 2.5 pound roast. But it was damn. I did it like for 15, 20 minutes on like 500. And then just turn the oven off. I turned it down to, that was the other one. I've been watching too many recipe videos. Turned it down to 325 and just let it cook, and for less than an hour.
Like 40 minutes, I think.
No, it was almost an hour. But I just threw a meat thermometer in it, and it was like right at. It was a little. I thought it was hotter than it was. You know, I thought it was going to be a little overdone, but it was perfect.
Karen says, I didn't cook. Albertsons cooked. I ordered it. I just have a couple burners in this thing we live in. I tell you what, I love Albertsons. We used to have one in Altamont, right next to my park, or just up the road from my park. I love Albertsons. I got so used to it. That was my grocery store. And then they sold out to Safeway. Then Publix bought it from Safeway within a year. It's weird. Anyways.
Papa, that's what I wanted to do.
That's what we were trying. We were looking for.
But yeah, they were sold out. I did that last minute. I wasn't sure what we were gonna do, and then I was like, no, I want prime rib.
Who knew so many people had prime rib on Christmas dinner?
I had no idea.
Yeah, they were wiped out.
That used to be like a New Year's Day thing for me.
Mind you, we live in a smaller town. Jay knows what we mean. There's limited grocery stores around here and places to get it, but.
Well, there are some butchers around, so
there is a couple.
But you're probably gonna pay it.
Oh, butcher's gonna be a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Although the one down the road, I didn't think to check with them. They've gotten to know me pretty good. They might have hooked me up.
Northwood says I ended up eating stuffed manicotti for dinner.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
That
does.
And the Chef Boyardee made that.
This is great.
Just kidding. Yeah, it was.
Hilton said when he lived in Florida, Publix made the best dinners in their deli. You're right. Publix does that, but they're a little pricier. They get pricey.
OMG Wicks is another channel that guy's based in Florida, and he puts out a lot of shorts, and he does some lives. But he's a fan of Publix. He's always pushing the pub sub, and his favorite
pastries.
His favorite. He's always eating.
Yeah,
he's always eating, but it's always something from Publix.
Yeah,
and
he's always got a container in his hand. Or
what's his favorite? It's a chicken tender sub.
Oh boy. So
then there's two sauces he puts on it, and he's like, yeah, man, it sounds like it wouldn't mix, but it's really good. And I can get that. That's like the hot dogs and you.
Yes.
You think it's what the hell, and then you do it, and it's like, oh shit.
It's like Pepsi and ramen. It just goes good together.
So yeah, sorry guys, we've been babbling for 20 minutes
about food.
I haven't even posted the link or explained this. If you've never been here before, welcome. And what we do is I'll post the link in chat. Anybody can chat, can hit that link, come hang out with us. You got a story to tell it. Just want to say hi. Anything, come hang out. Love to meet new people. Link is in chat. If you don't want to be on camera, at the bottom of the screen, you can hit stop camera. If you do get that far.
Just like
directions are pretty simple. Also, if you do come on, we ask that you turn off YouTube. Just stay on StreamYard. If you're going to have YouTube on, turn the volume all the way down because we'll get a really bad feedback. Hilton, how are you, dude? Good to see you. So yeah, we did a little bit of fishing today.
Tried.
I got one crappie right outside my back door.
I said, "Yay! It's confirmed. They're out there.
They're out there." That might just been a straggler or something. Right. You got lost.
A wanderer. I walked around to the park and tried to fish off the wall there, and I didn't get a bite. I think a turtle got my first minnow. I lost 4 minnows altogether and gave up. Walked back home. I have yet to catch a fish. It's been a month, I think.
Helen says, when I was eating at Publix, chicken tenders had not been invented. Well, that's like when I used to go to Wawa when I was a kid. It wasn't the Wawa of today.
Well, Wawa, I was there.
They didn't serve food.
I went by there Christmas Eve, and they serve pizza now. You can order a special made pizza. Yeah, I was like, and I got chicken tender wrap. It was like little snack bites. They're new, apparently.
Hey, Griff.
They They're okay. Some fill the hole.
No, Wawa's not terrible. I mean,
No, I mean the little chicken snack wrap that I got. Those were pretty good.
no, we've had your burgers and
Yeah, all the burgers are good. Double bacon cheeseburger. Oh.
Bobby
Joe
said,
Pat,
I like
Wawa.
Wawa.
It's
Wawa. Wawa.
Wawa. Matter of fact, I have their cup right there. It's old and that's my favorite.
Wawa.
Favorite
I'm
cups.
like, I just have to look up.
I didn't even realize it. For anybody that doesn't know, we're sitting right across from each other. He's trying to look in the camera at my cup. All you had to do is look up.
Like literally here, that's my hand that's going in front of her camera now. Yeah, we're sitting directly across from each other, and I'm like looking at she's holding up the cup, and I'm like looking at the camera, like the picture on the screen. I just had to look up actually. Joe Pat, how are you?
Funny.
Welcome.
Yeah, I love Wawa too, Bobby. That's probably my favorite convenience place to go. Not probably, it is. We just don't have one on this side of town.
Yeah, I didn't get turned on to Wawa until I came to Florida. Really, I mean, we had him as a kid, and I remember him as a kid. But after that, I hadn't really been in one.
Up north, they're all up and down 95. Every exit, there's one up there.
But they didn't serve food like it was nothing like.
Oh
this.
yeah, they got a great menu, and it's quick. That's
the
great
thing.
part.
It is. It's pretty
really
quick.
But the way they do it is you go and you order on the screen and take your ticket to the register and pay for it. By the time you pay for it, walk back over to get your food. It's usually done. You might have to wait sometimes on their busier lunchtime or dinner time, but yeah.
A few times I've gotten there and I'm like, wait, is this my order? I mean, how
right?
Awesome. I went from here to there.
Especially breakfast. They're awesome with their breakfast. They do breakfast bowls and wraps and yeah. It's pretty cool.
Joe Pat, we're doing great.
I feel like we should have some kind of sponsorship now. for talking them up.
No, my aunt, because when my nephew moved out to Arizona, he kept talking about how much he's going to miss Wawa, and he misses Wawa and the coffee. And he actually sent out and had some coffee shipped to him, Wawa coffee. I'm like, oh, or somebody bought it.
It's great coffee.
Sent it to him.
I like their Colombian.
And I'm like, what's the big deal? I mean,
good stuff.
And now I see the Wawa he knows. Like he's bragging about. I'm like,
right.
Oh shit! Look at this place.
It can be overwhelming. I mean, if you're not familiar with the store, going in, it's like, where do I go? What do I do?
Anyway, enough about Wawa.
Grasshopper.
What's up, Grass? What else we got here? We got 64 hanging out. That's
65,
awesome.
I show.
I got a lag. I don't know.
And I have it on top messenger again. Messages, I mean.
Yeah, I can't change that. This is what they give me on
screen. Well, yeah, on screen. You're right. Put it on my phone.
I mean, I could split the screen and put.
Oh, that'd be too much.
I'd be like, wait. Mm-hmm. That's why I do it. I would do another screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would do 2 screens. I already checked that one monitor that's outside.
Doesn't work. It's gotten banged
it's
around.
Ancient.
I know.
No, it's not like USB.
Oh, gotcha.
Or,
Toss it.
It's for a PC.
Well, no, the PC, the rest of it's in there.
It's not like something I could use as a secondary monitor.
No, I wouldn't.
I can use my television as a secondary monitor.
It's for that PC.
Don't think I haven't thought about it. Using that.
You could. Be easy to.
Oh, yeah. I could just plug right into it.
Yeah. I mean, last time you had it on, well, with the volume down, that was kind of weird. During the show.
Did I?
Yeah.
I forgot to turn it off.
Yeah. But the volume was off, so it didn't. I just remember looking over and seeing us. I was like, oh.
Actually, I just heard this question was brought up recently. Ever wonder if you had knees and hips replaced when you're cremated, who gets the titanium left over?
Right? Do they recycle?
It's a little morbid, but yeah, that's what I would want to know. What's titanium going for these days?
Well, I can tell you part of it with my legs.
No, that's like army pricing. And it has nothing to do with the army. It's just, but you know what I mean. Like it's overpriced.
Yeah, absolutely. Grasshopper says titanium is spendy. I know. It's most of my prosthetics made of.
Jen says, Wawa. No, link. So yeah, anybody wants to come hang out, hit that link. Eyes in the Woods, how are you? Yeah, it was Christmas was cool. I mean, I was on a few chats yesterday. Wishing Merry Christmas to everybody.
Every chat he was in, I was in the background, buzzing around
Chiming
doing
in.
something.
But yeah, it was a good day. I mean,
yeah, it was. It was
I
quiet.
never left the house. I mean,
well, the weather was nasty. It was rainy and dreary, and I look over at the park and almost expect, later in the afternoon to see people out there, kids with their new bikes or whatever. And the weather was bad. There was nobody. I mean, no boats on the lake.
There's always people fishing.
Yeah.
On
there was
dock.
No one out there yesterday. I think when I saw that, I'm like, okay, it's not time. No, it's just the weather was not the greatest. But it made it feel like Christmas,
Tina says they actually asked those questions. They ask you these questions before your loved one is cremated. At least they did ask me.
Okay.
And Grass was just trying to be funny.
I know.
Oh yeah, I got a new Nashville's t-shirt. Thank you, Stevie. Or Santa.
So, Mugs bought me some new kicks.
Oh, yes, I did. I know that sounds weird. What, you bought so many shoes?
Yeah, what? No. It's perfect. He got me a pair of Chuck Taylors.
Converse All-Star Chuck Taylors.
Black and white. And they're they are the most comfortable shoes that I've put on my prosthetics since I got my prosthetics. I put them on, and it was hell getting them in there just because the way they're so narrow. But I got them on, and I stood up. And any pair of shoes that I've put on in the past, it takes a day for me to get into them and feel good. I stood up, and I was like, oh. I smiled real big. I was like, ooh. By the time he was outside fishing.
Goes the light again.
He's outside fishing and I'm in here stomping around, just by the time he got in, I was all over the place. I can walk better in these shoes. They just feel good and they look good.
That light is freaking out again.
Is it?
No, it's off.
Oh no, I see it.
On or off? Make up your mind.
Oh, well, I guess it's
Keep
on.
Going. Leave it on, please. No, because it lights up this damn.
I know.
Thank you.
Papa Craig says, dang, Steve B, I'm almost jealous.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, it sounds weird when you think comfort in prosthetics, like a shoe being comfortable.
Yeah. No, it's weird.
It's not comfort on the feet. It's the balance, the stability.
But it's weird because wearing these shoes, I can feel my feet better. I know that sounds really weird. I drive. I don't drive assisted. I can feel the pedal. I can feel the brake pedal, gas pedal. I feel it perfectly. Sometimes if it's not, if I'm having a bad day, I do, worry if I feel it all the way. But no, with these shoes, as soon as I put them on, I could feel my feet like almost, it sounds stupid to say, but almost 100%. Like I can feel every movement. If I rock back on my heels, I'm not off balance. It's like total control. That's how it feels to me. And that's fucking amazing because I've never had that feeling so far in the 2 years that
in any shoe that you've worn.
In any shoe that I've worn. Yeah. So yeah, this is
fucking A.
The best Christmas gift ever.
That's awesome. And they didn't have. I was almost went with high tops, but they didn't have them. That's what I was going to go for.
I'm glad he didn't.
But they had the mid height, and then they had the the lower ones, and I was like, no, I need not the mid one. I like the look of it. It was like it was made for prosthetics.
I mean, it comes up just perfectly on the ankle part. Where the hardware sits. It just comes up perfectly. The tongue has that the elastic part that doesn't allow you to flip the tongue all the way out, but it's good because then anybody that's worn Converse, they know how it slides. The tongue ends up sliding down or side or whatever. So the tongue won't slide on these for sure. It's perfect. It's like every part of the shoe is perfect. Now I'm afraid to get them dirty. I walked over to the park and, I could cut through the backside of the yards and go through the grass in the back of the building. And I ended up walking all the way around. I stayed on the road the whole time.
How are you?
I didn't want to get them dirty. And then they'll get dirty and I'll get to the point where, watch out, I'll be all over the place because they are so comfortable.
Look good.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that's good to know that, it's not a special fucking shoe that, it's.
And anybody that wears a prosthetic, I'm sure everyone's different shoes for different people. And they look good. Mm-hmm. They're cute. I like them.
What was funny? Christmas Eve, we're sitting here. I had wrapped a gift. It's under the tree. And we're watching a fishing show. And the guy's fishing for crappies. He's got a chest camera on. So I think it was on the chest. Might have been on the head. But he's bending over, and all you see on his feet are these bright orange Converse All-Star Chuck Taylors. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm yelling at the damn video, get off his feet, get off your feet, stop looking at him.
I saw him because you couldn't help but notice them. And from the angle that I saw it at, I thought it was red. I thought they were red.
It was just silly, but it was like, I know she's going to comment on the damn sneakers, but she didn't.
Well, I thought it. I didn't say it out loud. I was like, oh, check out his shoes. Cool. I was like, right on. Not your typical fishing shoe on a boat, but, it was cool. I thought it was red. And the thought I had was, oh, he's in the Christmas, he's wearing them for Christmas. But no, I definitely noticed them. I had said, we're walking through Winn-Dixie and we cut the corner of an aisle and there's a couple that people are funny. They see me coming, they move 10 miles, plaster themselves up against they're standing
over shelves just to let her by.
They're standing over to the left and I'm passing by and I just trying to make sure I'm not running my basket into them. I saw she had a pair of white ones on, looked brand new. And I was like, oh, I wanted to say something. Cool. I like your shoes. I just kept going. But yeah, I saw him twice. Christmas Eve.
That's funny.
And I'm sitting under the tree the whole time.
I go into
10 feet.
I'd go to Kohl's to find them, and I went into Kohl's and she went over to Dollar Tree. Here's whatever. And I'm looking around and I find some shoes and I'm like, no, these are kids' shoes. And I turned the corner and it was like, oh, I see all these fucking just rows of women's shoes. And I'm like, oh, they got to have them here. And then I found the one that I didn't see the one that I bought her yet. I was like, shit, these aren't what I want.
They're like
the
platform.
soles were like platforms. Yeah. And I was like,
I wouldn't have
no,
wanted that.
I can't get, no, this isn't what she wants. And like,
I told him, I said, I thought I wanted the high top, old school Chuck Taylors, but I'm glad I didn't get those because these medium or middle or whatever you want to call it, they're perfect because they just come up enough on my hardware and ankles. And yeah, it's perfect.
Papa says my belly is still distended. I may have to not eat for 3 days.
That's how I feel right now. I've had this stomach thing for like the past week and it hasn't let up. And every time I eat, it just sits right on the top of my stomach. So I constantly feel like my stomach is distended.
You gotta, well, mine is just because I put on a few pounds. Yeah, I'm like kind of tripping on the weight thing right now.
Oh, we've already discussed it. Any junk food we have in the house right now, that's it. We're not buying no more. This will run us close to New Year's, as much shit as we got around here. I mean, because
no, we're good. I mean, there was some.
I've got some stuff to bake, and
Well, you really want to get rid of everything?
No, I do. I want it out. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to waste, but I don't want to eat like that anymore.
So we're gonna put on 5 pounds before we start taking it off.
We'll have fun.
No, I can't. I put on like, I don't know.
I've gained 10, 12 pounds.
30,
and I can't.
30 pounds.
I can't do anymore. I lost almost 130 pounds a few years back, and I've kept it. I've managed to keep it off. It's been probably about 7, 8 years now. Well, 6, 7 years now since I've lost all that weight. And it took me 2.5 years to lose it. And I told him last night we were talking about it. I don't want to ever feel that way again. And I could feel myself leaning into that resemblance of what I felt before. Yeah.
Well, you're like, 10 pounds. I'm like fucking 30 pounds. And
well,
right now I carry it differently though.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just this lard ass.
No, you're not. Not at all.
Everything just gets bigger.
Yeah.
But I mean, 6'3", 240 pounds. And most of it I carry in my gut and the handles, and I'll drop it, I'll lose it.
We will. Because I don't want to eat like this anymore. And it's my fault. It's all my fault.
Mr. Lee got some Bigfoot socks for Christmas.
Oh, yay.
Right on. You gotta
share.
Yeah, you gotta take a picture.
I want to see. Oh, congratulations. Great grandpapa.
Who?
Papa Craig. God, I couldn't even say it. He said, hey, they're inducing my 18-year-old granddaughter tomorrow. You can start calling me great grandpapa.
Bam. That's great.
That is so cool.
That's grand. Papa.
Great grandpapa.
Yeah. No, that's just too much to say.
Oh, I couldn't even say Papa Craig. I should have stopped at Papa. I tried to say Craig and it wouldn't come out.
I think that's why you just went to Papa C.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see.
I wish I could gain some weight in my legs. I wish I could take whatever weight I've gained and push it down to my legs, because the legs that I have are just...
Yeah, they're skinny.
They are. Can't help it.
Overweight prosthetics. That's funny.
I know.
Well, you don't have to worry about cankles or anything.
No, never.
Caucasian Sasquatch, what's up? Jim's camera, good to see you. Dog man, how's it going? What else is in here? What are we at? 66? Right on. Great to see everybody. So yeah, guys, you guys want to, come hang out. You got to click that link in chat. You come chill with us. Come up with a topic.
Come tell us how your Christmas was.
And what do you, like I said, I in comments, in the description.
I never read the description.
No, I said, what are your
do.
plans for the new year? Hop on and tell us about it.
Yeah, we got one more show before the new year, Thursday night.
Yeah, that's it. Damn.
That's crazy.
We were doing the math and shit, and
yeah, this is crazy. Well, because you were looking at videos and one popped up that. Yeah, you were looking through videos and one popped up that said 4 years ago. It was one of your first ones, and it raised the question, how long have you gone live? How long have you been on, your channel? It took a little while to figure it out, but it's been
March 22nd will be 4 years.
Will be 4 years
since I put out my first video. As far as
your first video for your channel, created your channel. It's been about 3.5 years because you went live
July.
It was like 6 months later or something. You went live. You did your first live. But all in all, 4 years. Whatever happened to old Buzzard? Catherine, good to see you. First off, hi. We don't know.
Kicked off? Hell no.
He just stopped. Nobody's heard from him. Nobody's seen him.
I've emailed him.
We've tried to reach out.
Called him and
nothing.
And this is going on months now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We're not sure.
If he's still kicking, our prayers are with him. Even if he's not, our prayers are always with him.
For sure. I just wish we knew, because he just stopped.
And that's unusual because he was funny,
I loved him, and I really would love to have a conversation with him because his experiences in the Army, that was kind of, he had a good story, for sure.
Cryptid Sasquatch, welcome. Who else?
Grasshopper said someone needs to get his address and go there. I wish we knew.
I know he's in
We're not even sure what his real name is. He never said.
I wasn't even paying attention. Something just backstage went away.
Squatch talk, Pat. How you doing?
Hey, Pat. Good to see you. Half-Life. 7.5.
7.5 years live? Wow.
Yeah, we were just fucking, I'm like.
We were just skimming. He was skimming through videos. I was sitting on the couch and he's like, wait, what? And it caught my attention. And
it said 3 years, but I knew it was going further, but it's like 4 years.
It's,
March. That's crazy. I don't know.
4 years ago.
How the fuck that happened, but
4 years since we met.
Yeah. Well, not met, but
like
it's been probably longer than that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry.
It goes.
You're
that's
right.
the other thing.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. I wasn't thinking.
I was probably involved with YouTube as far as chats, all the different channels, modding.
Yeah, and that's where I originally found you or saw you.
2 years, almost.
That's where I originally saw you in all those chats and.
Maybe not 2 years.
Interaction.
No, it's been almost 6 years since.
Yeah, because I think you were probably on it a year before I even stumbled upon everything and everybody.
But it's just it just baffles me. Time flies like that. It's
right. and to see everything.
appreciate your time, you know, because it goes by real quick.
It does. And there's so many people that are still hanging around, and it's very cool.
Just reading chat real quick. That's another good question. What happened to Paulie? How is he doing? Or, you know, I hope he's okay too. You know, Paulie was going through some stuff, and, you know,
He said he was gonna
hopefully he'll
figure it out and work it out.
and hopefully he'll, you know, bounce back. And
I do miss him. He's one of those that's been around forever.
yeah, he has.
I wish him well. Nothing but the best, honestly.
Absolutely. He's a good guy, you know.
He is. He really is. And he's funny.
He's
as
funny,
fuck.
but sometimes
He gets-
he's not.
Well, I think
Sometimes his sense of humor gets a little like
Raunchy.
warped, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what?"
raunchy.
Raunch is a good word.
Yeah.
There were a few times I was like, "Dude, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you
I
saying?"
think all of us were like, "What the fuck?"
But we still love him.
Yeah, of course. I thought. What did I say? I called him. He's the dirty Uncle Sal of the family.
Okay.
I told him that, and he died
No,
laughing.
because
But it's
Dirty
the-
Uncle Sal's been come here.
No,
like,
no,
sit in my
no. He's
lap.
the
It's like, nope,
jokester that. Not that.
stay
See,
away
you're
from
my.
Uncle Sal.
You took that in a whole different direction.
I
know.
Put Uncle Sal dirty. And
I
say,
know, but I meant as far as
I
his
don't think that
jokes
he
and
didn't
his
shower or
language,
something.
and you know, shut up, just shut up. Yes, Jay. Hopefully he did. He said he was.
Well, it's been a while, you know, and you know, I pray that he does get the help.
Well,
that
the
he
last
needs,
conversation I had with him,
or get it under control.
last conversation I had with him was, he said he was going to get some help, and that he knew.
And life changes, you know, it does. The opportunity is there now that, you know, you eliminated. For me, drinking was the worst thing in my life, and it was my life. You know, every problem, every incident, all the bullshit in my life was due to drinking.
Due to that.
Stop that, and it didn't do a 360. I mean, but it did. But I had to make it happen. You know.
Yeah, you have to make that decision to want to.
Well, I had to. I realized that life isn't that bad. I can handle this. You know, I don't have to avoid it in a bottle and just, you know.
Pat said it. He said life is hard. Ain't that the damn truth?
Well, it's not supposed to be easy. I mean, but
no.
You know, what's the alternative?
Exactly.
You know? Exactly.
Harold Denton, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Yes, it is a beautiful moon tonight.
It is. I saw it walking back from the park.
Yeah, it was huge.
I walked out. I walked out on the pier and I stood there and I turned, and when I saw, I was like, oh. So I stood there.
And that's the thing, but it was cloudy too. Like with a full moon, the fishing gets weird because the bait fish spread out. They don't group up. I believe that's the case. There's
I was
something with
thinking
the moon.
with the light, the lit bobber, that might help. And I had a couple people pass me saying the same thing when they saw me trying to. I bought this package of 2 bobbers and it has the little glow sticks, and the glow stick doesn't fit in the bobber. It's the damnedest thing. And I know they came from the package because they came with the 2 bobbers. I bought it from Bitters. They just didn't fit. I was like, damn it.
Oh, we've done everything. I have bobbers that I painted with glow-in-the-dark paint.
I actually have the rattly big, lit bobbers,
Yeah,
a couple
batteries
of
and-
those batteries and
yeah,
all
that's-
that.
Because we got into crappie fishing
Over at Lake Jessup,
last year.
that one time we were fishing and there's a couple people out there fishing using the lit bobbers, and somebody lost their line. They got a bite.
3 times they lost their bobbers.
But the rest of the night we were there, we kept seeing bobbers going across the lake.
Oh, yeah.
And the fish were still hooked to them.
Fish, yeah, you broke the line, but the bobber was still connected to the line that was connected to the fish.
It would go under for a while.
All of a sudden, you'd see this, this bobber pop up in the middle of nowhere. They go.
Talk about orbs.
It looked like a scene from Jaws when they threw the barrels into the
Right?
into the shark.
The lights coming up, and then they'd pop up. And it wasn't all the time, so it was like over
It'd
the
be
course
random.
of hours.
It could be
we
an
were
hour
out
later,
there.
and all of a sudden, this light would just go by underwater.
And we just look at each other and laugh. But it made you want to go out there, like on a kayak, and snatch it up and free it from the fish. I felt bad because there was like 3 of them out there. There was an orange, a red, and a yellow, or green, whatever you want to call it, whichever it is. That was too funny.
Yes.
What'd it do?
That's Harold. I'm thrilled to hear this. Mogs, I drank excessively for 23 years. I got 2 DUIs and missed out on being in both of my kids' lives on a regular basis. After my second DUI, I finally got smart and life has been better.
That's good. That's cool.
But you know what I
get
mean. It
I get
changes. It does. You know, I have 1 DUI. That was over 20 years ago. And it changed everything. I didn't drive. It's more involved, but I didn't drive. I didn't have a license for 21 years. And I used to drive for a living. But yeah, you know, and I'm not preaching. I'm just, you know.
Bobby Yon says, too many gators in Lake Jessup. You're absolutely right. But you know what's cool is they stay off. We would fish on a pier, and you could see them out there, freaking 10 foot.
You
10 foot.
take a spotlight
There's
at
like
night.
a 3 foot head coming up out of the water. You could see them just sitting there. And I think the closest one ever came the times we were out there was kind of like right next to the pier right there. But they just sit there. You know, they don't go after your lines, or they're just curious.
I want to get it. Well, we already talked about this. I want to get a new camera, and I want to be able to film at night, like the gators, but hitting you with the spotlight, and you just see the eyes light up.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it is.
Because I know I could go out there right now with if I could drag this whole setup outside and point it with the camera, you'd see eyes. Oh, excuse me.
"37 years in February."
Sometimes life changes for the better. If I hadn't gotten divorced, I might not be here now. I wasn't in a rock biz and I drank. Wasn't 24/7. Wasn't that crazy. But yeah, I mean, that type of lifestyle is conducive to that, you know?
You're right. Lake Jessup has the largest population of gators than any place on the planet. Definitely in the U.S.
Yeah, it's
This is a lake where other
all the
states,
troubled gators go.
nuisance gators, anybody that
I don't know if they do it
captures
from
one.
other states though.
Georgia, there's been some from Georgia that they brought down.
Really?
Yes, some of the very larger ones.
Yeah, but this lake has the highest concentration
It
of
does.
alligators in the United States.
Me working for the
Maybe-
county,
maybe the
I
world.
had the
I don't know.
privilege of going out on an airboat. I've been in a helicopter above doing count. We did a count and got to 1,000 and stopped. I mean, basically, it was impossible. All you saw were heat signatures from tons. I mean,
Well, it's weird.
it was
'cause
a
they're
lot of them were.
cold-blooded.
What's that?
They're cold-blooded.
The eyes. You could see the eyes.
eyeshine.
Yes. But yeah, the babies. We got to a back area where there was nothing but it was nests and like the nursery of the whole lake.
Sure.
And thousands and thousands of eyes. There's
Karen,
no way to count them all.
I don't know if there's crocodile in there. I think they're more towards. I don't know. I'm not gonna, but I think they're more in the Everglades down there.
Yes, I don't think that crocodiles are
This far north.
No, they're not. Everglades. I remember seeing a newscast where they were showing a croc somewhere down near the Everglades on the Gulf side, just out there in the water, swimming out. Like, it's like, where are you going?
What's up, Mike?
You know, turn around, you're going the wrong way. But yeah.
Jeez, I got this new chair. Now I'm rolling all over the place. I was like, wait, I want to go back.
I was trying to get this, like, I was trying to find a chair forever, and then I was in Walmart, and I was like, oh, this one looks good. Like, I'll just get this so I don't have to wait. I don't have to do this, that. And it looks similar to the ones I had been looking at, but it's not. It's like a huge base, and like I wanted one with wheels, like something, something that I could move around easily. This thing is like a brick on the bottom, and
I originally paid for online a gamer chair. It was a smaller gamer chair, but it had all the features and comfort and everything. And I got the notification that it came in. I had to go to the store and pick it up. I get there Christmas Eve, basically, and it's gone. They can't find it. They can't find it. Somebody else got it, or they gave it away. I don't know. It was just not there. So Christmas Eve, they're calling across town, all over the place. I had to drive damn near. Well, it was in Leesburg, which is kind of far from here. I mean, good 15, 20 miles I drove to get to the store to get it, and the box that they had was all beat to hell. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, all right, hold that thought. There was an Office Depot right next door on the same strip. I walked down there and got the kid up off his ass to help me out, and I picked out another chair. The chair that I got him is not the one that I originally bought. That one was way better.
Yeah.
I think it was gone because it was a popular sale. That was their top sale item, where it was perfect because it was narrow. It wasn't all big and bulky, but it had all the features, bells and whistles.
They probably had it sitting in the back, and then somebody just picked it up.
Look, no, seriously, the arms would. I'm sorry.
I cut them out.
Oh. The arms in this chair would go up. They'd go. You can move them out, to make them wider. The seat reclined. It was nice. It had a higher back on it. It had a headrest little piece back there. So if you reclined it, it was a nice chair. It was definitely better than the one I ended up getting you. I was disappointed, but I was pissed at first. I was pissed.
Sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off. That was my fault.
I didn't even notice. If it makes you feel better. I'm a New Yorker. We don't get offended by that shit.
But yeah, and on the wheels, it had a wheel lock, so he wouldn't be rolling all around. That's what made me think of that. Because it had that.
No, there's 5 wheels. I'd be going in a circle.
This one is like, it's a gaming chair, but it's not. It's just not good. Like the kid loves it. It ended up being his present, like, because it's got like. He can plug his game into like the chair and it makes noise and like the back lights up and he thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. So
I asked her, so what does the other chair do? Does it give you a massage?
No, the other one doesn't do anything. It's just probably more comfortable.
I had said all the bells and whistles the other one came with, and he's like, "Well, did it give a massage?" I was like, "Yeah, no." He said, "Then it didn't have all the bells and whistles."
But I know what you mean. There's only certain ones have like the footrest that comes out, like that's underneath. Some of
I
them come with little pillows, like that you
yeah,
can detach, and yeah. So like, I know what you mean because I've searched gaming chairs like crazy.
so
Like,
did I, and you see how ridiculously priced they are. Like when I went into Office Depot or whatever it was, they had chairs that cost more. I mean, I don't want to say double, but twice as much as the desks. Like the big fancy desk that they had in there was just ridiculous. $600-700 for a chair. I'm like,
Yeah, but then you have to make a good chair. I mean, a quality chair, I would say, because to spend that much time in a fucking chair.
I know. I wouldn't want to spend that much time in a chair.
But yeah, to charge $600 for a chair is like.
They had a Shaquille O'Neal chair, and there was no prices, and I just looked over at it, and I'm like, damn, that just looks comfortable, you know? I asked the kid, I was like, how much is that one? I said, just asking, because I knew damn well I wasn't interested. I was curious, and he was like, I don't even know. I don't want to know. You know, I put the name on it.
The Shaquille O'Neal chair is the equivalent to the pool tarp that holds the elephant. Like, it's their selling point. Shaq can sit here, so you'll love it.
Right. It's crazy. I did. I researched and looked and shopped around, and I settled on the one, and I was excited for it. I get there, and I saw the look on the lady's face when she came out, and I'm like, oh, don't tell me, you know. I was like, and then I ended up having to go through the whole refund process, and it was a big deal because it was ordered online, and they couldn't transfer it to the other store, and it was just a
clusterfuck.
Yeah. So they ended up giving me my money back, and I ran across town. I said I'd be back by noon. That would have put me out of the house for 2 hours, couple hours. I ended up spending 4 hours out Christmas Eve.
And then I dragged her
and then I get
out.
home, and I get home, and I'm just like, fucking A, I'm done. And he's like, come on. Fuck.
Lester said, I have a lazy boy, big and tall man's office chair. Lost weight now. I look like a kid in it. Feet hanging out. Well, no.
Dangling.
Lost weight, not height.
No. I know.
Maybe he's short. I don't know. Oh, jeez. Jen says the chair lift will give you fits, Jay.
This chair is cool. The way it just lifts you right up if you want.
Did you push the button?
I
when you were in
did.
it?
Yeah. Well, no, he did. I was sitting there talking to Janet, and he hits the button. I was like, oh. I'm like, you got to warn somebody.
It was an earthquake.
Damn chair starts standing up on you. No, it's good. I could see a time before I lost my legs where a chair like that would have been fucking perfect. You know?
Really? So crazy, Chris. How are you, Chris? What else? Yeah, we got 66. Still got 66. Right on.
Jesus, my chairlift is screaming for help.
Did you eat too much, Jay? You exceeding that weight limit on that chairlift?
He's gonna come with a zinger in a minute. Like, no, I caught too many 5-pound bass. And
They're in a bucket on my lap.
Yeah.
Jen, thank you for posting the link. Not me. She gets more text than me.
It's my daughter.
Right on. I spoke too soon. Where's that? Sorry, I'm just scrolling back. Someplace I've never been was New Orleans. I see them talking about New Orleans and never been there. But now somebody's saying that it's not that safe anymore. They're shooting people on the causeway. I don't know.
Jeez, really?
Just driving
I've
by.
been there a couple times. I went before Katrina, and then I was there a year exactly, like almost the anniversary of it. And that was the most horrible trip in a sense for me. I remember driving on 10, getting through Slidell's, the last little town before you get across to New Orleans, and I remember getting on 10, and during Katrina, it washed out a section of it. So it just opened up. I'm driving. You look and there's nobody out there. There was nothing out there. It looked like something from The Walking Dead. Honestly, there wasn't any signs of life, like no stores, no lights, no movement. I pulled off the side. I'm up on an overpass on the bridge, and you can see for miles and nothing. You drive down through 10 and you get to New Orleans, and the closer you get, there's more life. But it looked like right there at the heart of downtown, like it hadn't been touched, not at all. French Quarters, it looked like had not been touched at all. It was. I kind of got mad because I was like, this is all for tourists, but what happened to all these hundreds of thousands of people that just got displaced? Everything was gone. I never experienced anything like that. I don't want to see that ever again. I cried. I was driving my daughter out to Tulane University. They were just trying to get the school back up and running again after Katrina. So they were recruiting. They basically paid for her trip for a swim team. They were looking to get people in on their swim team. So, she, I think at the time was 16, 17. We stood there, on the side of the highway on the overpass, no cars going by. And I look over, she's in tears, I'm in tears. It was just devastating. Wow. Absolutely devastating.
Well, when I was down there, it wasn't even on the main strip, it wasn't safe because, I mean, I guess it depended how much awareness you had, because there would be people who would follow the bar hoppers and watch them get drunk, and as they got drunk, they and they when you get a little tipsy, your wallet's open, and you know what I mean, and you pay, and like they would literally like mark who was who. Sure. And in between bar hopping, or like they would like invite them outside, whatever, friendly, and then take their money. And it was something that was happening over and over and over again. I was like, this is not
worth it.
No, it wasn't fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole place was beautiful, the concept was beautiful to an extent, but I wasn't there for same thing. Like when I went to Palm Beach, I was there for spring break leftovers. You know what I mean? Like the week after. Like when I went to Mardi Gras, I went like the week after. Like I would do that on purpose. You know what I mean? Like
spring break, sloppy seconds. You get there and there's just like on a curb, and
That was my first thought. Sloppy seconds.
I guess I set that up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The idea was to have more to do, with less people around. You know what I mean? And
when we went, they rented a car for us. They, basically we got to stay on campus, overnight, so she could get the whole full, college experience. And they were just trying to recruit as many students as possible. It was cool. And then they gave they gave us at the end, the end of the tour, the official tour, we signed the thing saying that we were there in attendance, and they handed us each $100 gift card to go have dinner and go, explore the French Quarters. And yeah, it wasn't so desirable to take a 16-year-old, you know you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dinner around there. So we just booked and got out of there. But it was, I mean, I was mad because you get to the campus of the college, which is right there in the middle of everything. It was like, you look around, you would have never known Katrina had come through. But getting to that, it was just total devastation. I was pissed off. I'm like, it's all about the money. They made sure everything was restored for, New Orleans and the French Quarters and the campus, the college campus. But you had to get through all the devastation just to get to that. It was just, it was a big turnoff. My daughter was like, I mean, I'm sure she had a good scholarship. They were trying to put a swim team together. She was good. She would have went there had she chosen to, but we were on the drive home. She's like, yeah, Mom, I don't think I'm interested. I said, yeah, I'm glad, because I wouldn't want her to go to school there. I mean, it's great.
There's a lot of places. There's a lot of places like that, right? Like where they're it's like a setup for failure, because you put like an 18-year-old kid that can't drink in the middle of Mardi gras.
Yeah.
And that's like the army was for me too. They'd be sitting there and they'd put these guys in these situations where everybody around them is drinking and you know what I mean, right? And then they'd get in trouble, and it's like, what the hell?
College is already party town. You put them in a party town, yeah, it's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, Oneonta was called Stonianta, right? Or that's what it was nicknamed, because it was in the middle of nowhere, so people would just sit around and smoke pot and kumbaya and shit. Cool, you know what I mean? No big deal. How many people are really getting in trouble in the middle of the mountains? But when it's these places like that, shit, I can't imagine. I don't know. It's just a setup for failure. I mean,
Sharon Guy said, yes, Stevie B after Katrina in New Orleans went to shit. Not safe at all. I hate to go to the doctor down there.
It's sad.
I can see that, though. It's.
Damn.
I've been down there where I remember taking my girls when they were young. We drove out there for 4th of July, did a road trip, took them to the aquarium, and the waterfront was beautiful. And then Katrina, just all that was gone.
And I must have drove through there at night. I don't know, because I don't remember seeing anything when I drove out.
You probably saw the signs.
The first time I came out.
Oh, well, you were kind of on a mission.
The second time, I was. Second time, I kind of wandered around for a while. Meandered from state to state. Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot, how's it going?
The Hurricane Sandy was the worst thing I think I've seen in a while, but it didn't, it was nowhere near Katrina. It was very few people that lost their entire houses. The ones that did, they had so much help, getting it back. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same aftermath. It was horrible, but it just wasn't. At least in New York, I heard Jersey got screwed. I heard their guys screwed them over, but we got. I don't know. At least on Long Island, But again, it was it. Everybody walks by each other and doesn't say nothing. But when that shit happened, it was everybody was outside. I mean, you might as well have been, in 100-man team, just working together, just doing what needed to be done. patching fences, cutting trees, picking up cars, like, shop vacs with, wet vacs, whatever the hell needed to be done. You were just going house to house to house helping people. And, same thing.
Well, it's like that, is when you need the community to pull together. So it's amazing to see it when it happens.
Yeah. It was the one interesting thing I took away from that, I'd say.
Hell, not Katrina, Sandy, that caused a lot of towns to change their building codes. Like there's some of those shore communities in Jersey, they couldn't rebuild unless they put them on stilts.
Right.
Houses.
Well, it was weird to see that whole. I have never been to Jersey Shore. Like, I've never been there. But I have seen the 100 times. I've seen the whole like carousel, whatever it's called, the roller coaster and all that. What the hell is it called? It's not a circus. What's the word for it?
Boardwalk. It's just the boardwalk.
Yeah.
It's
like a fair. Yeah, all right. So anyway, but yeah, that shit was like underwater and like disappearing, like getting wiped away, and I was like, wow, that was sketchy.
I've been on that pier. I don't think I ever rode that roller coaster, but yeah, that was for months. It just sat there, or longer than that, in the water.
I never rode it, but my girls did.
The one in
Yeah.
Well, I think when you live places, you don't really do the events, like the attractions.
At some point, I was standing in front of it.
Well, the town I grew up in, we had our own boardwalk. We had all our own arcades and rides on the boardwalk, and you had to go.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great. So I didn't go down to like Seaside. That's where the roller coaster was, Seaside Heights. We called it Sleeside. Well, it was the main tourist attraction. Yeah, we got our share, but
well, you had that, and then you had Ocean City in Maryland, and it's like they're like the same thing, and like people from here used to travel there. My boys used to be like all the time, like, oh, we're going there, and I'd be like, for what?
DC area, same thing, especially like Labor Day, especially.
I don't want to go to Coney Island, so I definitely don't want to go further to do the same thing.
Same thing, right?
Yeah. So if
growing up around DC, everybody would go to Ocean City, Memorial Day, Labor Day, a couple times in between. I never went. Excuse me, I never went. My mother would never let me go.
My buddy got.
Everybody would drive from Northern Virginia, DC, and hit Ocean City all the time.
It's like the closest attraction, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, you got Colonial Beach, kind of opposite direction for us. It's really nothing to talk about. It's a small, it's not commercial.
I've always heard about Ocean City, but I was never there.
Oh, gotcha.
I was camping out on the Outer Banks one time, my sister and myself, and the guy that was in the tent, like the next campsite over, he was a surfer, and we hung out with him the whole week, and it was great. But he was from Ocean City, Maryland.
I had a cousin that was out there at Rehoboth Beach. I had a hotel out there, which is the next beach down, I think, from Ocean City. Yeah, but I'd never been to Ocean City.
Stats, good to see you.
I feel like I didn't miss anything.
That means gate smashers around here somewhere.
It was no big deal.
Yeah, right there.
I know, right?
Wrong pipe.
Well,
that might have come out the nose.
It sounded like it did.
Yeah, that might have.
He didn't mute though.
definitely the wrong pipe.
Yeah, that sucks. Take a minute for Mike to compose himself. He'll be back. Gary Johnson, how are you?
Bubbles coming out of my nose. God awful. You know, and like that fizz comes out of your nose and like just
Yeah.
starts like burning everything. It's like it's one thing if like you spit like water or milk out your nose, but like carbonated drinks, it's like
It's brutal.
It burns.
Miss Dill. What's up, man?
hey!
Great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Jill! Merry Christmas.
Did we mention Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Come on and have some
Hippie holidays, days.
with our freaky
Freaky
family.
family.
Oh, you got that right.
Right? Nailed it. Jill, I hope you have God, I can't even talk. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm glad you're here. Miss seeing you.
Yeah, we were just talking about her like a week ago.
Yeah.
Hope it was all right.
Talking about her yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. No, I even
I know.
sent her a email.
A message.
Greetings from South Carolina. How you
Greetings.
doing, everybody?
What's going on,
Hey,
man?
dude.
I thought I'd pop in and tell everybody Happy New Year. Now that Christmas is finally over, thank God.
It ain't there. It ain't New Year yet. We got
Yeah, I know, but I always go into the Happy New Year mode the day after Christmas because I'm looking forward to the New Year.
It's like, all right,
I'm
we're
a-
over Christmas already.
I'm a New Year's Eve guy.
What's your plans for New Year's Eve?
I'm going to party like it's 1999. I'm not drinking this week. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just being Mr. Nice and clean and sober and straight. And come New Year's Eve, I'm gonna let it all hang out.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got to get the you got to get everything all cleaned out. It reminds me of that episode, that part of Wolf of Wall Street when he finds those like lewds, the lemons or whatever. Like they're like, there's this one scene in Wolf of Wall Street where like they find these lewds way after they're like gone. You know, they're out of commission. So like he like goes and gets like he cleans out his whole system. He gets like like I don't want to get into it, but he's like I'm not gonna take any drugs. I'm gonna do all this so like I get like a good possible high. But that's what it reminded me of when you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay sober and then get loaded."
You just said a word, dude. I hadn't heard that word since the early '80s. I don't.
Ludes, I was like, yeah.
Quaaludes, man. I used to love them bad boys.
Well, that's one of the funniest parts about it is if you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, it's a really good movie. Like, it's a really good movie.
Seen it once a while back.
Yeah, I seen it like a long time ago once. A lot of movies I just seen one time.
Oh,
Right.
it's so good.
No, I don't quite remember all of it. I know it was a good movie. It's definitely a good movie.
And then there's those movies like Die Hard that I've seen like 10,000 times, and the one called The Christmas Story that I've probably seen more. I think I watched Christmas Story 3 times this week.
I don't have regular TV. Like,
I haven't seen it this year.
I'm a big Darren McGavin fan, and that one of them channels shows it over and over and over and over and over for like 3 days straight. So whenever a grandkid comes by, that's the go-to channel. Hey, watch this. Now, sit in here and leave me alone.
Shit, my TV's been sitting there paused all day. It's the same thing has been on that TV.
I haven't noticed because I haven't even looked
touched
at it.
Like we were watching something, pause it, and now that was probably this morning. It's been sitting there paused.
Yeah, I don't know what it is because
I don't watch a ton of TV.
I haven't been watching it.
You must have a better system than me. My pause only holds for 30 minutes, then it got there and resets. I have to go back in and
Oh yeah, no. As long as you don't change it,
It's probably a YouTube.
it'll
probably
stay
YouTube.
paused all day. It did stay paused all day. That had to have been from this morning, sitting down having coffee, and didn't last long. I don't watch a whole lot of TV either. I can. I mean, I'll binge watch the hell out of it.
Doug Man UK says, "What's TV?" Oh wow.
But we don't have cable. We anything we watch, we stream.
Yeah, like in my bedroom, I have regular cable, but I never watch it.
I've got this thing in my bedroom called Roku. I don't know if anybody knows what Roku TV is, but it's like an internet television system. Well, I got the cable in the living room. If I'm in the bedroom, I can just tune into the Wi-Fi and I can watch YouTube on it and all kind of cool stuff. I watch mods on TV sometimes. That's when you don't see me in the chat. I'm laid up in the bed watching it on TV, eating cookies and shit.
We got
you don't get chat on the.
We got a smart TV, so it eliminates a need for the Roku. But I do have a Roku.
I have a Roku.
Roku is the only system I ever seen where you can actually chat on TV with it. You know, the one I got, you can chat with it. I use the remote and chat. It's a pain in the butt, but I can do it.
Because one of the Roku systems also has the voice remote where you can talk into the voice.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how that comes out.
Well,
it comes out, you just get in trouble.
I have such a
one time, and I'm not going to tell you what they said I said, but I didn't say that.
I did that once in a text when I was driving with the guy that I work with, and I did the voice since I was driving, and I hit send without really checking it, and it came out something that I did not say. I have never done that again. I won't use that voice because it'll come up with some off the wall shit. Yeah, we died. Like he died laughing. It was funny as hell, but at the moment I was like, no, I didn't say that. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Tennessee Kentucky Bigfoot says we canceled cable, got an antenna that fell over, and I won't fix it. No, we could do antenna TV.
Yeah, and I kind of want to because I miss the local channels. You know, I do.
No, and
I haven't done it lately, but they say the antennas with that new digital tech, they can get a lot more channels. All kind of cool stuff.
Cell towers now. The antennas bounce off cell towers, so you can pick up a lot. Most antennas, when you go to buy them on the box, it'll tell you how many miles of range it'll go, and that if you go online, you can look and see what stations you can pick up in that mile range.
Hell, I even have a converter for a non-digital TV. So
wow.
The thing you do with that is that one channel called the USA Network. You really have to have cable to get that, and that's where all the freaking good wrestling comes on. So I make sure I buy cable just for wrestling.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're
NCI, USA.
I think so. NCI.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday on one channel, and Wednesday and Saturday 2 times, Saturday on another channel. It's like 7, 8 wrestlings now. Oh, and it's the one on YouTube.
Wrestling.
What's the second channel they put it on? The Spike?
TBS and TNT and all that. Turner, they got the AEW, All Elite Wrestling. You know, where the women look like they come from truck stops and the men look like everyday guys. It's like the worst wrestling that ever existed.
Mo, you muted yourself. All right. Okay. Yeah, so we have Danny, we have this thing where they come to like the local. It's weird because they actually, the last time they were here, they put it in a church, which I thought was the most absurd thing ever. Usually they go to like Knights of Columbus or like Elks Lodge or VFW. The last time they came through, somehow they got in a church basement. I don't know how they pulled this off, but to me, it's a little conflict of interest there. But anyway, dude, it's like amateur backyard wrestling, and it's a lot of fun to watch these guys, like, because that's what they're aspiring to be. Most of them. It's not like they're there for the money. They're aspiring to be a wrestler, you know, in the future, like WWE, whatever the case may be.
Well, TBS and TNT I know TBS is the channel that Christmas Eve they play the Christmas story over and over. They loop it. I think it goes on TNT also. Those are the channels I miss.
Yeah, that's another reason I got cable is them channels like that. I gotta have them.
I mean, I know you can go online and find any show or
Oh, come on! If you got a lot of grandkids and babies that come around and irritate you and cry, you got to have things like the Disney Channel and all that stuff, man. It's just mandatory.
Well, last night,
Right.
we watched. Was it last night?
I don't know what did we watch?
Rudolph.
Rudolph, yeah. I think it was like
Oh man, that's the
So
best
somebody had
one.
it on YouTube. I was like, yeah, let's
we
watch
watched
that.
it Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Rudolph.
You talking about the old one with Earl Lives?
Yes.
Yes, it's so
The
funny.
classic one. Well, I love that one too. It's got
All
the
the little
Bigfoot
shit that
Yeti thing in it.
didn't pick up on when you were a kid. You got to go back
Yeah.
and watch it again because there's little stuff in there that just we
I
look
was
at.
like, wait,
we're like,
did
wait
they
a
really
minute.
just say that?
I mean,
You may not believe this, but that's actually most kids' first introduction to a cryptid when they see the abominable snowman, the abominable.
that's the first,
Yeah.
but Yeti, abominable snowman ever.
I'm a fountain of worthless trivia.
I don't know. When did that come out?
Good question.
1960 something, I think.
Yeah, at
Maybe
least.
60, 63, 64.
Was it that
Yeah.
old?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, 64. I think 64.
Wow.
I remember seeing it when I was a little teeny tiny kid.
Me too.
Because March of the Wooden Soldiers came out after. That was the one. Well, what's the one with like Ollie in it?
4.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah,
That was the March of the Wooden Soldiers.
Actually,
December
I think it's called Babes in Toyland.
Rudolph
Babes
came.
in Toyland, maybe.
go ahead, Stevie.
I said December 6, 1964 is when Rudolph came out. I just Googled
Yeah, I
it.
told you. 60s.
Wow.
That's one of the first shows I remember watching, like when men walked on the moon and all that.
Frosty the Snowman came out December 7th, 1969.
Really?
Yep.
See, that's damn. That looked a little more newer. Like, oh, maybe I just remember it being, but that didn't. That looked kind of ahead of its time with animation wise.
Ms. Dill says they had no Christmas movies this year. Where'd it go? Only The Grinch, which I hate. It freaks me out, man.
You seen all the people who are like running in their house in a Grinch costume, blasting in the front door, jumping on all the kids and everybody are in the living room and like they're blasting through the front door in the Grinch costume and jumping onto the tree and grabbing it and dragging it out of the house and then running back in and like throwing all the presents out of the house and like it's like the dad is like the prankster, you know what I mean, for the family. Or like some dads are like dragging their kids or like attacking the kids. Like it's like you see the fear on their face because they have no like. Cool, you made a viral video. Cool, you're scared that your kids have no idea what's going on.
Never
Like-
believed in Santa after that.
We're scared to death.
That's one way to get them to break the bad news to them.
Right.
But it was funny once. Like some guy did it like 2 years ago, and it was like hilarious. Like he ran in, and he like jumped on a tree, and like it like held him, and he swung with it, and like it was just good. Like it was funny. And I seen this year there was so many people doing it, trying to like replicate it, and it just it wasn't working out.
Brief. I don't even know how it ended. Like I saw Grinch running into something. I was like, no, I don't click. Next. I was like, not into it.
Yeah. Well, there's this one person who's like in a Grinch costume, and they dance, and they walk around with a vacuum. I don't know why. Maybe it's something with the Grinch. Maybe it was an accessory of the Grinch. I guess was a vacuum. Maybe he sucks up the presents with it. I don't know. But they go to hospitals and like they just dance, and they dance for everybody, and like they go everywhere he or she goes. I have no idea what's under the costume. They just dance, and like it's I don't know. It's like it's just one of those good things, you know what I mean? It's one of those uplifting things.
Yeah, go to the hospital and cheer up people. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I always tell the grandkids, if you don't be good at Christmas, I'll make you sit through Elf with Will Ferrell.
Mr.
I like
Flint, see, they have stopped playing the Ten Commandments for a few years too. Watched it every Christmas for 45 years.
Huh.
I do remember that.
I do
Always
too.
being on Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston, boy.
Yeah.
I used to like the Charlton Heston, man.
I remember watching that at my Aunt Jackie's around Christmas time. Ten Commandments.
This tells us, Mr. Lee, did you get goodies or baddies for Christmas? Baddies.
Baddies.
It's a weird word.
Yeah, Mr. Lee got really cool gifts like Bigfoot socks. You know what I got for Christmas? I got socks too. I got 50 pair of the ugliest Gotham socks you ever saw in your life. 50 pair from like 10 different people. And I got a bunch of old man gifts like cologne and stuff. Anybody want some free cologne? I got like 40 bottles. I'll mail that shit to you. All you got to do is ask.
It's got a stockpile of Old Spice.
Well, I got stuff I never heard of, like French that shit, like a man. Man gonna wear that stuff. I wear Old Spice. If the cologne ain't got a picture of a ship on it, I ain't putting it on my face. It's just like my grandpa did it.
Those bottles, the old bottles were cool because it was supposed to look like the white bottle was supposed to be almost like a walrus tusk. Because the ship on it is in the style of scrimshaw. Scrimshaw was big with sailors, and they would carve, from walrus tusks or narwhal horns or whatever, whale bones, and that's kind of what the Old Spice was supposed to look like. Was like that white bonish color and the scrimshaw on it. It's pretty cool.
I've got some more packed up in my stuff, Moggs. I've got the coolest Old Spice bottle that ever existed. It's from the 19. Yeah, I think it came out like 1950 something, right? And it's an Old Spice bottle, but it's completely clear. And there's a freaking little model ship inside the bottle.
No shit.
It's got Old Spice and calligraphy on the side of it. And my grandpa had it, and I inherited it when he passed away. I never opened it. It's never been opened. It's still like you got the little thing you set it on, and it looks like a little ship in a bottle. It's cool. Awesome.
Karen said, "Did you get handkerchiefs? We used to get this from my grandpa." Me too. I remember getting handkerchiefs from my grandpa.
It's like, as a kid, you always get socks and underwear.
Yeah, always.
But it sure does make you feel good when you give somebody $100 box set of DVDs and they give you a $12 bottle of cologne.
Yeah, I got deodorant this year, and I was like, thanks, I think.
I think. What are you trying to say?
No, it was like, I don't know, it was like a whole shower gel thing set. I don't know.
A gift set.
Yeah, my mom always does that shit. But it's always socks and like underwear.
You never gave one of those things to your dad?
No. I had the coolest dad in the world. If you give my dad a gift he didn't like, next year that son of a bitch should be under the tree in a box for you.
Your name on it.
Yeah, his baby give it back to you. See how that feels?
That's funny.
My stepfather's easy. He smokes cigars every night after work. Works his ass off, comes home, smokes a cigar. So that's it. Like I get him the ones like, I get him like a $20 cigar because he'll buy he'll order offline 100 of them for and they're like cheap as shit and like whatever. So like that's what I always get him is like a nice cigar.
We went into a smoke shop
Christmas
2 days
Eve.
ago.
Christmas Eve.
And I was looking at cigars. I was never really cigar smoker.
They're weird here. Like if you're in the humidor for too long, they like come in and start to harass you, like you're stealing shit. Like it's weird. And like I used to take it personal, and I've seen them do it to everybody.
I smoke them little filter cigars, you know. I've always got a cigar in my hand. I got a cigar in my hand more than George Burns used to have.
Oh wow, can't.
Well, you smoke Black and Miles, don't you?
No, I put these little flavored cigars called Cheyennes now.
Mm.
And they got like 50 different flavors, so you don't never get bored.
Karen says, "Yep, my grandpas love them, and the soap on the rope,
The
Old Spice."
soap on a rope. That's funny.
I was guilty of giving my dad shit like that. You know, those boxes of cologne and the soap, and it was convenient. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was saying about the cigars. I don't normally smoke them, but I might stop in. There was one cigar brand that I used to when we'd go fishing. I used to smoke, but we were out on like fishing trips out on the ocean. That was the only time I'd smoke them. But I found them here. It's called Acid.
Acid. I was gonna say Acid's a good brand. It's the only one I like.
They're infused cigars. I smoked the Blondie.
Back in the 70s, I thought that's pretty good too.
Yeah, the Blondie. That's the one I like too. But I think for non-cigar smokers like you and I, like the light-colored Blondies are like they're good because they're not like too like strong.
But
You know what I mean?
They're not. It's not just pure.
Yeah.
Tobacco. There's other. I'm not sure what it's infused with, but
I don't know either. I guess we should really check that out before we start inhaling it.
Right? But yeah,
I smoked a lot worse things than cigars, Betty, so I ain't worried about it.
Wow. Kids don't know any better buying for parents. Nope, we don't.
No.
Or they don't. It's not like it's like I'm a kid. We didn't.
I wonder what part everybody don't understand about comic book collector. Christmas and all.
Gifts.
Oh, so no one sends me comic books.
Yeah.
You think somebody give me a damn comic book for Christmas?
Well, they probably think you already have everyone out there. So.
Oh, you kidding me? There's no way. There's so many things I'd like to have, man. I'm still looking for an I Dream of Jeannie comic book with Barbara Eden on the cover, That's major on my list of wants. And
it's out there?
Yeah.
No shit.
Huh.
Anything you can name, there's probably a comic book about it. Some of the stuff shocks me. I got a Rush Limbo comic book.
I have some comic books, Danny, that I don't have use for. So I mean, they're not many of them, but like they're collected. Like one's like the Superman one where like I actually had this. So there was a misprint where they had Superman when Superman died.
Yeah,
they put out some prints of him with red blood.
I got both these.
Yeah, it was supposed to be black because like you're not allowed to do red blood or whatever. Or at the time you weren't anyway. And like I had that, and this place, Fourth World Comics in Smithtown, like went nuts for it. Like they were offering us like stupid money to get it back. And my mom ended up biting after a while. And I was like, yeah. But I got like the old ones with like Ozzie Smith, like baseball player on the cover, and like the ones that used to get for like free.
Actually, they're actually worth more sometimes.
Yeah.
I picked up believe it or not, an old lady Nancy Pelosi comic book. I bought about 4 or 5 of these political comics. I'm going to talk about how bad they are one day on YouTube.
It's not here. Excuse me.
But mainly I like the ones based on old TV shows, like from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's my favorite stuff. I think 3 of my favorites are the ones based on the Cross Super Show, because each one of these comic books has a whole section on Bigfoot and Wild Boy. You get a lot of Bigfoot action in them comics.
Was that Sid and Marty Krofft, or was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Mr. Lee said the 13th
Land of the Lost.
spooky
Yeah.
weekly comic. That was amazing.
Another comic book I hadn't gotten. I have not been able to find a Land of the Lost comic book yet, but they're out there.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
See that.
I'm trying to
I
think
got a
what I have.
Lidsville. I actually got a Lidsville. So that made me happy. It was really hard. That HR Puppin stuff, and that was really cool. I got them.
That was the other one, HR Puffin stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was to find an HR Puppin stuff comic book? It took me 40 years to find one.
Wow.
But I finally got one, but I was all happy.
So what's you're gonna have to email me a list of I want to find some of these comic books. Your bucket list comic books. I'll help you find.
I think I know where to get one of these, Danny. I'm gonna look for you.
I got 4 or 5 Bonanzas now, and I got 2 of them that's got the actual house covers where he passed away and everything. I really like my Bonanzas, and I got Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and I got The Man from Uncle, and I've actually found a Girl from Uncle comic book, which is the rarest one of the bunch.
What was the one about the sea? Was it you said Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea? But was
Voyage to the
was
Bottom.
that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
I've got one of them too, but that's a classic illustrated, like when they do the classic books in comic book form.
Right.
Oh,
I got like 100 of them old movies and old classic tales in comic book form. I've only done like 3 of them on YouTube so far.
You used to do reviews left and right, but I can't keep up with your channels. You got a new one. You got a new one now too.
Yeah.
I can't keep
Well,
up with it.
it's good to have more channels because when you do stuff like I do, you're constantly losing a channel because YouTube takes it away from you for copyright. I lost like 5 channels for copyright strikes. Learning what I can do and what I can't play with.
I seen. We talked about this like a couple of weeks ago, and then I looked, and Danny's World is still there.
Yeah, it's just I wrote the password. I changed the password on it because somebody had figured out my password and were doing crazy stuff on my channel. So I quickly changed the password and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I was really messed up. And to this day, I don't know where I put that piece of paper, but I remember putting it somewhere where nothing's going to happen to it because I'm putting it here. So it's still here somewhere. I just don't know where.
I'm
That's
tripping
like
out. 10-minute warning. Go hit that link. I looked
That
up.
was the one that taught me to make a YouTube book.
By so far already.
What the fuck?
I got a YouTube book now where I write all my passwords and all my codes down so nothing gets lost no more. I learned, I was young when I was new at YouTube when I started that stuff.
Think about it. Everything you do requires a password.
Yes.
A username. It's just.
And every username and password you create, you have to give an email address.
And you want my advice? Make damn sure you make a hard copy and write all that stuff down on a piece of paper, as well as your cell phone. Go through that cell phone and get every number and make you a list, because one day you're going to drop that motherfucker in the ocean, or you're going to drop it in the lake. Or like last week when I'm out here making a video, and something's creeping around in the bushes, and something's making noise, and something's making knocking sounds, and I'm making this video, and I'm all into it, and snap, it's pouring down rain on me, and my phone got soaked. And I had to put the phone in rice for 2 days before I could upload the video.
Well, if you back up your phone contacts to Google Contacts,
Won't ever lose them again.
Yeah.
You won't ever lose a single one again, because when you get a new phone and it uploads, you see numbers on there. We had.
Yeah, and all of you seem to be forgetting who you're talking to.
No, I know, Danny. I get it, bro. Like, I get it. I'm the same way. I go right into the phone store or whatever, and I'm just like, here. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need you to help me. Like,
one of my sponsors owns a phone store, and you'd be surprised how many times a month I have to go in there and get him to do something or tell me something or fix something. But he provides my phones for me from my YouTube channel because I make commercials for him on his channel.
Yeah.
I had to get this phone because I dropped my last phone in the water.
There you go. See,
The river.
Yep.
and it's always good to have that backup wrote down. Trust me. Everybody, and that's to the people who's not technical savvy enough to have it stored on a cloud or some shit. I still ain't found that cloud. I've been looking for that motherfucker.
I just dropped
I keep
mine.
hearing everybody talking about putting shit in the cloud, but I can't find that son of a bitch.
My screens on every gadget I have is busted. I'm very irresponsible with my phones.
No, but this screen
Slip
is,
right through my fingers.
my screen
all the
protector's
time.
broken, but that's
Yeah, I'm not sure it's my screen. It might just be the glass protector.
I broke that little glass screen thing that goes over my phone so many fucking times. I thought, oh, I didn't mess my phone up. I take it over and he'd change the screen, it'd be okay. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God I bought that thing.
I have a tablet that I got with my phone, and I took it out of the package, and I think it was the next night it hit the floor and the screen cracked on it. Yeah, I don't know. Clumsy, I suppose.
Mr. Lee, don't bother.
Yeah, right. I'd love to not have a phone. I don't even barely use my phone. Like, I don't talk to people on my phone hardly ever.
I do not think I could exist without a phone now. It would be really hard.
Most people
it's
can't.
Messenger. It's mostly Messenger.
Yeah, because I live in the freaking woods, like way. I don't go to town but 3 times a month because it's so far away. You know, like if I didn't have a phone, I'd be constantly out of contact with everybody.
You
Yeah.
know, everybody has a cell phone, even like 3-year-olds, and it's the babysitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't that long ago when
you'd be able to say, excuse me, I gotta go. I'm expecting a call at home. I gotta go home. I'm expecting a call.
It started with
days.
pagers, where you get a beeper in there. Anybody can contact you. Call me, whatever.
Now
it's mandatory. You
it's
need
expected.
a phone. Like, yeah,
For
it's
you,
expected.
If you call me or you leave me a message, I'm expected to reply somehow. Oh, that is a nice chair.
It is.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, this part lights up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that makes me feel bad. Y'all got these nice chairs. My chair's a
It's not.
folded chair, like rascal. You hit each other over the head.
It looks nice, but I have to put like a pillow below my back still, and like there's no where to put your head, and like it squeaks already.
How's you feeling after 2 hours?
They're doing that. They put me in.
Back thing is a little like.
I think you got to get used to that.
I feel like
I see Grasshopper's comment. Grasshopper said he needed a phone for all the doctors. I feel the same way, Grasshopper. I really do. I go in Tuesday and they're gonna put me in the hospital and do the MRI on my whole body, the cancer check thing. I get once a year. I'm kind of worried about it. I hadn't been feeling great.
there's something going around.
I had that about 12 years ago. I had real bad lymphoma, and I had to go through a whole series of treatments with that, and that was torment and the worst thing I ever went through. And I just hope I never have to go through that again.
Really?
Yeah.
I pray you don't either.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough deal when you get that stuff, man.
Well, congratulations for beating that.
Yeah, I've been in complete remission for like 6-7 years now.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
I 110% like marijuana for it.
For getting it or for getting rid of it?
Getting rid of it and helping.
Could go either way,
Right.
Oh well, I think it was a part of it was the use of marijuana and proper diet like keto and stuff that finally turned things around. I don't give no credit to that freaking medicine they had me on whatsoever.
Let's not talk about medicines. No, literally, because one of my old video from 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
got pulled
because
someone was talking about
medicines
and stuff, and
Yeah.
I got a medical strike or something.
He got
What?
Yes.
I appealed it.
That was just this past week.
Yeah.
After 2 years.
You'd think people be allowed to have their own opinions.
Well,
was. That's exactly what it was. It was somebody's opinion and saying just, giving no advice other than ask questions.
Talk to your doctor. Yeah.
Ask questions when
from
you
your
go to the
whatever it
doctors.
was.
And
I reviewed it. I was like, fuck it. I peeled it. And
according to their policy, it's not allowed.
within like 5 minutes, they replied to the appeal.
Well, I'm not going to say whose channel, but I hear somebody else go down on medical stuff 24 hours a day and say some of the worst stuff you could possibly imagine about stuff, and his channel's still up.
It was one show 2 years ago, and it just happened a few days ago. And when he did the appeal, 5 minutes later, the appeal was rejected. They were like, I was like, holy shit!
They didn't even think about it.
No, it was automatic. Nope.
Yeah, that's what got me is I had this video up for this movie called Life Force, and it was a trailer where this girl's walking around pretty naked. But I put it up like years ago, and nothing ever come of it. It had thousands of views, and all of a sudden I got a copyright strike for this video years old, because of nudity and stuff.
Grasshopper said algorithms go surfing for stuff automatically now. They all the way back in the past, for sure. I mean, it was absolutely 2 years ago, this show, and out of the blue, it's like, wait, what? Yeah, I said it's probably.
And I sat there, I watched it, and I realized what they were talking about, and I looked and read everything, and I was like, well,
you got to
try. I appeal it? She's like, I don't know. I was like, fuck it. And I hit appeal, and yeah, they were like, nope.
They let you if you can do it, go back and clip that part out the show and put it back up.
Well,
I know people who's got. There's a guy named Dr. Wu, Robert, Paranormal Highway's brother. His shows will be 4 hours long, and when they get done copywriting, he'll put it up. It'll be 93 minutes because they cut an hour and a half out of his show, but kind of all the stuff he said and done.
Yeah, but it's like I don't even have access. Oh, maybe I do.
You do.
I do have it.
Yeah, you do.
No, it'll be here on StreamYard because I think. I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe not. I gotta see.
Well, not that I know how to do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I've heard about it.
There's a juice worth to squeeze, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
No, after 2 years, I'm like, whatever.
Right.
I'm not upset about it.
You know that house I filmed with the Christmas lights?
Sure.
So I've done that. Yeah, I've done that about 3 or 4 times this past month, right? Yesterday I got a copyright strike. And I was there with my son for like
right?
For like 5 minutes, like 10 minutes maybe. He's like, "Oh, I want to do a live stream." We got there. He's like, "Oh, why don't we do a live stream and include other people?" I'm like, "All right, good man. All right." So I'm like, "Let's do that." And anyway, I got a copyright strike for it, but I've sat there other times for an hour and a half and knock out.
The first one
was over 2 hours.
That's what inspired us with the Christmas tree.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not easy to sit there and hold that damn camera like.
No, and it was cold.
Hey, laugh if you want. That video with them Christmas lights was wonderful, man. It kept kids' attentions for hours off me.
Yeah, it seemed like people were enjoying it. Yeah,
fun. It was. That was a good time.
Grasshopper says, start simulcasing the Rumble as a copy to go back to.
I'm okay.
It was one video. I mean,
yeah, it's just one
out of
3.5 years worth.
That's not bad considering,
No.
If I had $1 for every copyright strike or copyright claim, my God, I could buy me a new port.
And see, that's the thing. It's not a strike. It's just they remove it.
They just remove it. There's no strike against the channel.
Anything to do with your channel.
Nope.
They even said that in the notification that there's no
that ain't
strike or repercussions. They just remove it. They don't allow it.
Like it didn't even say go back and edit this out or give you the option.
No.
It was appeal.
Denied.
Okay. I've gotten copyright for showing my stuff.
That's silly.
That's crazy.
I have too. Actually, I put a video up on a Daily Dan blog, and then I backed it up in case they take something down. I put it on another channel, like the Beast, and then next thing I know, I got a copyright for showing my own shit, and I had to go tell them, "Hey, I own both these channels, you goose."
I heard that back with I think it might have been Carrie Arnold or somewhere in that Bigfoot Odyssey, Daniela's show, maybe one of them, I don't know, but somebody was showing their own book. It was a book they wrote, and they got show got copyright strike.
Or I've been on shows where as a guest and they've showed clips of mine or whatever, and then I'm sitting there with them saying, yeah, it's okay, no problem. And then they get hit with a copyright, and they would fight it and say the guy was sitting right next to me who owns it, and
we had
they don't care, they don't care.
Yep, no.
Whatever, I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it don't bother me none.
No, it didn't either. I was just like, oh fuck, all right.
There's another 2,500 videos of them.
Right. But damn, this 2 hours quick as hell.
I wanted to say, excuse me, if I could talk at all. I wanted to say, Bud Badinzer.
I'm glad you're having fun.
Welcome.
Gonna have a bubble bath. See you freaky friends in the new year. Love you all. Hope you're not all poor in 2024. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right. It's good to see you, Bill.
Enjoy your bath.
Merry Christmas. I know it's late, but
Yeah, that's one of them comments I'm just gonna ignore.
Yeah, don't. Visions of Dilly danced in my head.
I almost said that out loud.
Grass says some 15-year-old kid in Bangladesh is doing the copyright hits.
all right.
False. Yeah. Russell, I agree. I'm poor in 2023. Expect to know better.
Yeah.
Duke, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Duke?
How are you, man? Good to see you. Thank you, Elena.
Hello, Governor.
How do you
Still
pronounce
don't know.
it? She's like, it doesn't matter.
You still don't know, I said.
The Americans and your accents.
Yeah, right.
Hello, Governor.
Hello.
It's Elena, but we say Elena, and she don't give a shit. So basically,
Yeah, but I don't see Elena. I see Elena.
Yeah, so say that.
I just used to saying Elena.
I just say L because I'm that lazy, I guess. I don't know.
It's safer.
One less syllable.
Right.
That works.
All right. L it is.
Yeah, Duke, hope you had a good Christmas, man. I watched what did we just watched his last premiere.
Yep.
It was cool. I like that the comparison between your big teepee, Duke, that big one you showed, and the concrete one. I think your teepee you found in the woods was bigger.
Yeah.
But this concrete teepee that he showed was huge. But then when you see the comparison side by side with the person standing there,
yeah,
the one in the woods was just fucking
crazy.
massive.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like Boy Scouts doing that shit.
Yeah, there's one that it's 40 feet tall, and people would be like, yeah, kids could be doing it. I'm like,
yeah, right. If the kids look like Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, I'm like, it's made out of full trees. It's not branches; they're entire trees.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's ever tried to move a big ass piece of tree like a 40-foot log. You're not going to do it by yourself, and 10 people is going to have trouble with a tree.
But why would any? Whatever. We won't dive into that. I just
Anyway.
let people do and think what they want. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna call it a night. Oh, my pleasure, dude. No, that was cool though. I like that.
Yeah, very.
Well,
Mike,
it's been a nice, pleasant show.
what's that, Dan?
I say it's been a nice, pleasant show. A nice, happy thought for after Christmas.
That's right.
Right on. That's the way it should be.
That's what it's about.
Yes. If you want to put me backstage, I'll tell everybody good night.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, you can boot me back there too.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Always.
Thanks for coming to hang out. I caught that. I caught
I
this away
did.
just
I
before
did
I
too.
just before I was
did
like,
too.
okay. Guys, I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Hope y'all had a good time. It's good to see everybody.
I can't believe how quick it went.
Yeah, no, that 2 hours flew by. That was bizarre.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Dill, so good to see you. Lee.
The moderators,
Love you.
thank you. You guys are
Yes.
awesome.
Always.
We will be back on Thursday. This Thursday, same time.
Chris. Still crazy, Chris.
What about her?
She's there too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. It's all good. I
We
get
were
caught up
talking
in.
about mods.
I just
and-
start reading,
Yes. No.
I said all the mods. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you Thursday.
Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Love you guys. All right, guys. Peace and God bless.